You know what, friends and neighbors, I'm just gonna say it up front. NECA absolutely changed the rhythm of the game, let me tell you. I can honestly say, no figure they've done yet even so much as compares to 1962 boy. Seriously, even the 1954 figure can't match this guy. Oh, but Bobby, you're talking out of hype. It's a brand new figure. You've got new figure goggles. Nah, From the box to the articulation to the detail and the paint, NECA have 100% brought out the new ballpark Franks, fresh buns, fresh new condiments. Let's get started in talking about this figure. Actually, first, let's take a look at this box, because this box definitely deserves to be talked about. Struggling because I'm ugly. NECA, my boys and my girls, look at this box. This box is just so very mint. Oh, I love the little read-ups on the back, too. They're like so perfectly cheesy. Godzilla. Will you win? Battle of the Century, featuring Heat Ray Blast! And then we have a nifty little read-up on the movie. Seriously, this is one of the very best boxes I've ever seen for a figure. My God. The colors, so good. But like any good box, a box needs a window. And this box has got quite the window. Got Mount Fuji in the background, got a shot of our boy over here looking very, very, very nice. NECA, this box game that you've got going on, you keep it up. You lot is killing it. All right, now for the main reason you're here. Here he is, the man of the hour. And oh my goodness, this guy looks amazing. Seriously, I'm going to gush super hard over the detail on this figure, but first off, let's cover articulation. Gone are the days of an extremely stiff neck in a NECA Godzilla figure because, oofa, look at that. We've got a great range of movement. You can spin at the neck in 2 different places. Oh, works so very well. And of course, can open the mouth, like so. Seriously, this is easily the best neck on a NECA Godzilla figure, I think, ever. Ever! NECA Godzilla. Now we messing with the toy soul. And as per usual, still a little stiff, even after all the soaking. The arms can go all the way around. You have a nice bend at the elbow, and a swivel at the elbow. You have a nice bend at the wrist, and a bend at the palm as well. A little bit limited on the palm articulation here, but nothing crazy. And you also have a swivel at the wrist as well. And of course, that is all going to be present on both sides of the figure. Bend at the elbow, swivel, swivel at the wrist, bend at the wrist, bend at the palm. Alright, so when it comes to the chest and torso articulation we have going on here, you're not going to get too much, even with these semi-soft, semi-hard, rubbery dorsal plates you got going on back here. Even if you move this one or the one on the opposite side out of the way from this one, you're still not going to get like a lot of crazy movement out of the torso on this figure, which in all honesty is okay because everything else, every other part of the articulation absolutely makes up for it. Just letting you know, you're not going to get any crazy side views this time around. Okay, now to take a look at the legs. The legs, in all honesty, was the place where I had the most problems once the figure was out of the box, before I soaked him or anything like that. And they're still pretty stiff, but I can get some decent movement out of them. Like, the knees, as per NECA usual, were pretty hard, and they still are. But I'm gonna heat them up again, and hopefully that'll loosen things up. But thankfully now, I can show you, there's a swivel at the ankle. There is a swivel at the knee, and it's like that on both knees, both legs as well. You see, you can move that out nice and decently far. I'm always so afraid of NECA figures and bending at the knee. I'm afraid I'm gonna break them, but as you saw, yeah, you got a nice bend. Bendy, bendy, bendy. There we go. And as I showed on the other side, swivel at the knee, swivel at the ankle. I think you all know what's coming up next. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. We are going to talk about NECA's new build for their tails, and let me tell you, this is the best tail NECA has ever made. Multi-segmentation, no bendy wire at the tip, just look at that. Look at that. Look at the curl. Look at that. Oh my God. When I said NECA was starting up a whole new ball game, I was not blowing smoke up their keisters. Look at this. This is easily the best tail they have ever done. Loving the multi-segmentation, and the range of movement on this tail is just nuts. I just love doing this. It keeps its pose, and it's just... It's so satisfying to do this with a NECA figure now, like, and you're gonna be able to bend this tail in a lot of different ways, and it's going to look cool no matter what. But as you know, that's not it for this figure, because this guy comes with a breath effect piece. Ooh. Now, essentially, this is a second verse, same as the first kind of deal. You're gonna look for these 3 holes. That's showing you it's the top. Another way you'll know that this is the top of the breath effect piece is if it looks like this. If it looks like a super happy face like this, you have it upside down. You're gonna have to make it look like a super sad face like that. Super surprised sad face. Also, all this will be pointing up. Plus, another indicator is if you look inside Godzilla's mouth, the shape pretty much tells you what way you're supposed to put the breath effect piece in. And also, kudos to NECA. Lovely inside the mouth detail you got going on there. Seriously, look at all that. Top of the mouth, bottom of the mouth, got a nice tongue going on in there. Okay, I'll put the breath effect in. Just gotta match up the shapes like so. Push it in, and you're good. And look at that. He looks fantastic and ready to destroy some buildings. Ready to get his butt kicked by Kong. 2020, bitch. One thing I did want to go over though, my teeth don't really fit into the holes here. I don't know if it's like that with every NECA 62 figure. As you can see, the teeth don't fit into the holes. And you know, I can't put the breath effect piece further down his mouth or I might break something or screw it up. But this is definitely the top of the breath effect piece. I am not going crazy. Look at that. Oh my God, it just looks so nice. So good. Easy breezy, beautiful Gojira. And just in case anybody was wondering, because I was wondering this too, honestly, this is a new breath effect piece. It is not the GMK Atomic Blast breath effect piece painted white. As you can see, it's much thicker at the end and thinner at the top. And looking at the fiery rippling details on top of both of the effect pieces, again, you can see 2 completely different pieces. Although, I am curious. I don't think this will work. I'm curious anyway. All right, the GMK of breath effect piece doesn't really fit into his mouth, but if you close his jaw, it'll hold it in place. But if you move it even a little bit, yeah, it'll fall right out. So there's a little bit of a mix and match 'em up right there. That took a while. Let's get into detail and paint. From the top of his mean-looking brow to his adorably big yellow eyes, to the very tree bark-looking skin that this Godzilla sports, this figure is an absolute marvel. I know I already showed off the detail inside the mouth earlier, but I didn't comment on the color of the inside of the mouth, and it looks pretty awesome. Very screen accurate, I must say. The teeth are also this very nice bonish yellow looking color. Godzilla might have halitosis, but at least his teeth look great. Also, I just love that the top of Godzilla's brows are somewhat of a shifted color from his base color. Looks very nice, really helps things pop. Okay, looking at the chest area, again, more great detail. A little bit of the same when it comes to the paint job on this figure, but it's Godzilla's body. Godzilla has never really been a collage of different colors. So aside from that, the detail is fantastic. Just, oh my God. Look at those fingers. Those are such grody fingers, but the nails are painted so very well. Look at those nailios. Nice. Look at the detail on top of the hand as well. Oh my God. Oh, I didn't even notice that. The one top part of his hand kind of covers the hinge when you have it pushed all the way back. Attention to detail, those NECA peeps. But yeah, more great detail on the fingers. Top of the hand as well. Man, I really wasn't kidding when I said every part of this figure is a marvel. Jesus. Again, more of the same when it comes to the paint. Still fantastic. Detail is beautiful. But, unfortunately, there is one singular flub. And that just so happens to be on the right knee. I don't know if the knee was attached to the leg a little bit too early, but it does look like the sculpt suffered a little bit over here. You can obviously see that there is some discoloration over here as well. This is how the figure looked when I got him out of the box. And, you know, to be completely honest, you really can't see it unless his leg is bent. So if I was really that much of a perfectionist, I'd literally just not have to bend this guy's knee. But in all honesty, doesn't bother me. The other knee is just fine. We've got the same color paint used for the fingernails that is on the toenails, and oof, look at those grody feet. They look great. Seriously, NECA, you guys did such a great job on this figure. Finishing up on my favorite part of any Godzilla figure, and that is the dorsal plates, and the dorsal plates look fantastic. They're not as soft as they normally are. They're a little bit harder, but gosh dang, do they look fantastic. Detail you can feel, paint job you can see, maximum satisfaction. Seriously, I cannot even try to complain about these dorsal plates. They look so good, and they all look good, even the ones on the tail. Heck, even on the back of his neck and the tip of his head, they look good. Although they're not painted on the tip of his head, but I don't think they ever were. Let's see how tall this boy is, huh? All right, from head to toe, this figure is about 6.5 inches, almost 7. And from the tip of his tail to the tip of his toes, he is about 10 inches. So he's not gonna be too big of a shelf hog. The multi-segmented tail is definitely going to help out in that category. Okay, before I close this off, why don't we do a quick little size comparison? Here's the NECA Godzilla 1962 figure from 2019 next to the Bandai 1962 Godzilla figure from 1983. Then and now, my gosh. Here's the NECA Godzilla with the Tsuburaya translucent Godzilla 1954 figure. Here is Godzilla 1962 next to the Blu-ray and DVD copy of King Kong vs. Godzilla. I was not kidding, friends and neighbors. This is a whole new ball game for NECA. They are on a completely different level now, and I am so very excited to see how these 2019 figures turn out. I mean, if this 1962 figure is anything to go by, I have a feeling NECA is going to be turning a lot of heads, and possibly converting a lot of SHMA collectors to NECA collectors. At least that's how I'd like to see it go down. So you've seen every form of articulation. You've seen every little bit of detail on this figure. Why don't you comment down below? Tell me how you feel about this figure. Let me know if you're going to pick one up. You totally should. Do not miss out on this figure. For 25 bucks, you're getting way more than you're paying for. I have been ShinRobjira. Do hope you enjoyed this review, and I will see you all next time. May Skrionk be with you all.